What's going on YouTube? So for the last few years, Kia has been renaming several products in their lineup, including the midsize sedan Optima becoming the K5. Well, now it's the Forte's turn to become the all-new K4. But this isn't just a rename. This K4 is a big change with tons of style and technology to take on the rivals. So is this a fierce rival to the Corolla and Civic? Well, let's go ahead and find out. All right, so let's start things off here with the exterior design because this K4 really does stand out. They've done a lot to make this a very aggressive design in a segment that can often be a little bit bland and stale. So up here in the front, of course, you're gonna notice the latest version of the Kia Tiger Nose grille. This time it's going to be pretty narrow and elongated all through here, and then you're also going to have a very aggressive looking lower fascia down here on the bottom. Now in terms of your trims, you're going to have a lot to choose from. This is going to be the top spec model though, so this is the GT Line Turbo, and there are a few special elements which I'll point out as we go around the rest of the exterior. Now in terms of our headlights, it is going to mean that we have the most premium arrangement for our headlights. We've got these stacked crystal LED headlights, and we also have these really neat star map LED daytime running light and turn signal indicators. It's a really big component of the exterior design, and it really brings it in with the rest of the Kia lineup. Now as far as your wheels, you have 5 different options ranging from 16 to 18-inch alloy wheels. This is an exclusive wheel to the GT Line Turbo, so you've got a special gloss black finish, which I think looks really fantastic. I also like the spoke design overall and how it matches with the gloss black finish you see around the wheel arches and the lower parts of the body. You're also going to find that gloss black finish up here on our mirrors. And of course, as far as features, you're going to be looking at standard blind spot monitoring and heating. And that, again, gloss black finish is going to be on your upper end GT line models. Now here at the side, you'll see the overall length has grown quite a bit over the old Forte. This is 185.4 inches long. That puts it about 8 inches shorter than the midsize K5, but it's also 1 to 2 inches longer than both the Civic and Corolla models, which Kia says this is now the longest and widest compact sedan in the segment. Now, as you take a look at the design of the side, you'll see it has a very interesting design. They're using that extra length to give it kind of a smooth flowing look. It actually has kind of a fastback design that slopes down to the rear. And you'll also notice they've done some creative things here with this C-pillar. It's got this interesting kink, which gives it a very distinct look from the side. Now, speaking of fastback, I do want to mention that Kia says there will be a hatchback version of this going on sale in the future, but we don't have any additional information to share about that at this time. Now, taking a look at our back design, again, you're going to see a lot of the latest design elements. They've pushed the taillights out to the corners to make this vehicle look even wider. I certainly like this LED accent that runs all the way across there with the latest and greatest design. And again, you're going to find some gloss black elements down here on the lower fascia to make it look more aggressive here on the GT Line Turbo. And the last thing to mention here on the outside are the safety systems. So Kia is giving you all of the major active safety features as standard equipment this year. You also have the availability of Highway Drive Assist 2.0, which is their most advanced version of the highway driving assistant. But there's a lot of cool things on the inside that you need to see. But before we get to that,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the interior. First, we'll take a quick look at the key fob. This is your brand new Kia key fob. We've seen on some of the other models. You do have standard smart entry and remote start on all trim levels, which is very rare for this segment of vehicle. You're actually going to see a lot of things that are kind of surprising standard features on this K4. And as Josh kind of pans in here and takes a look at the interior, you're going to see a very nice looking cabin. We've got a lot of advanced technology and a lot of different things to talk about, but first I'm going to start by talking about your seats. So one of the cool things about this K4 is the fact that it's going to be available in some really unique colors. As you can see, we've got a black and white color scheme, which I think looks fantastic on this top model. You can actually get a green color scheme as well, and Kia confirmed there will be an available red and black color scheme, just like with the K5 model. So you've got a lot of bold colors that you can choose from. Of course, you're going to start out with cloth seats on your lower trims and work your way up to these leatherette seats. Does feel nice and soft and supple. It certainly feels very much like a realistic leather. We've still got a lot of adjustments here with power adjustment and two-way lumbar support. Now, two really super rare features that you're going to see. We have memory seats actually on this top spec model, and we have ventilated seats in addition to seat heating. Both of those two features are super rare to see, and they're included in the technology package on the top end GT Line Turbo. But let's go ahead and climb inside. Now that we're fully inside, I want to take a look at the cabin materials. So we'll start out over here with our door trim. You've got a leatherette trim right here for padding, leatherette through the center section, soft touch plastic along the top. That same soft touch material continues across the upper dashboard. We've got a very interesting looking, I think, faux aluminum trim that runs through there. Some gray plastic that runs along this single vent effect. And then your lower panels here, these are going to be hard touch, as we expect for this segment, but I do like that they've kind of give it that little color splash that matches with the seats around the shifter. Now, let's just go ahead and jump right into the technology, because that really is just a huge thing when it comes to this K4. We've got a dual screen setup, and this is actually going to be standard on all the models with this 12.3-inch display as your main infotainment system. You even have a center display which contains climate controls, and then over here you're going to have two different versions, but they're always going to be a display for digital gauge clusters. So that's very, very cool to see that on board. This top model is also going to have the blind spot camera system as well. Now, pulling back to the steering wheel, very interesting design on board, and I really honestly dig it. Totally unique from the rest of the Kia lineup. Flat bottom on the bottom. It's actually kind of squared off at the top as well. And we've got the cool color contrast design, including the center cover. It certainly, like I said, really stands out in this segment. Manual tilt and telescoping, of course. Now, talking about interior storage, vehicles in this class aren't really known for being super spacious, but that's a totally acceptable console there. I'm sure we could fit quite a few donuts in there. We'll have to try that out when we test this vehicle out completely in the future. This, though, you've seen this on some other Hyundai and Kia products, the multi-function cup holders there, so you can put giant drinks or you can kind of contain them into the specific area. Very, very nice setup. Up in the front, we've got a big area that also doubles as your wireless phone charging pad, and you've got some additional USB-C connections above that as well. As far as our shifter is concerned, we've got the new kind of squared off design. Nothing complicated here, just the nice physical controls. Obviously, we're inside, so I'm not going to turn the vehicle on to demonstrate that. We do also have a 360-degree camera system available as well. Let's see if I can get that to pull up. There it is. So as you can see, Kia's sparing no expense here. Even this K4, which is going to be their most affordable sedan in the lineup, gives you the full 360 spin just like you get on a high-end Genesis product. I'm really, really impressed to see this on the K4. Now here in the center section, we come to a couple different things. I'll start with the climate controls. This is very interesting. We have physical controls down here for our automatic climate. In this vehicle, it's going to be a dual zone automatic climate setup, and you can make those temperature adjustments easily. But actually, you have those additional functions up here in that display that is in between your other two displays. This is a touchscreen as well, so you can manually control a few things like your fan speeds, zones, anything that you need to manually control from time to time, you'll do that inside of that secondary display. Now, the row above the vents, that's going to belong to audio controls. On this model, we do have a Harman Kardon audio system. I don't know how many speakers it has, and we're not going to be able to sample it today. Again, we will be testing out this K4 fully when this vehicle goes on sale. Now, coming up here to our main infotainment system, Of course, we're in a studio setting again, the vehicle is not on, but as you can kind of see behind this message, we do have the latest CCNC infotainment system. And again, 12.3-inch display is standard across the board. That is unheard of in this class of vehicle. Also, the fact that you have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay standard across all trim levels is, again, just a really, really exceptional feature that Kia is going to be including with the K4. Now, taking a look up top here, just right on cue, it says you're done, and we were just done. Up top here, we've got a manual dimming mirror. And then last but certainly not least, as you can see, we do have a sunroof, but surprisingly, this actually has a power sunshade. Let's go ahead and check out the rear seat. Now, first and foremost, I want to start off by talking about space. So we have 38 inches of rear legroom, which is interesting because Kia says this is best in class. And actually, it's very, very close to the midsize Kia K5. And I have to say, sitting back here behind my own 5'8" driving position, indeed, it does feel like a lot of space for a compact sedan. I have tons of knee room. As a matter of fact, I brought the ruler here to get an official measure. And as you can see, when I put it the correct direction, we have about 8 inches of knee space between the seat and my knee. Very, very impressive. I can also wiggle my feet up and down. The other interesting thing is that I have plenty of headroom. You'd see the slope back and you think maybe we don't have much headroom, but the way they've cut the roof actually allows me to have plenty of headroom. Now, in terms of features back here, this is a compact sedan. You're not going to find a ton, but we do still have vents, and we've got 2 charging USB ports, which Kia does say is standard even on the base model, which I note that because the fact that the Civic doesn't even have USB ports now on the highest end trim level. And then if I fold this armrest down, you'll find some cup holders inside. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk as well. So we got a nice dampening on board, and inside you're going to find a generously sized trunk. 14.6 cubic feet is what Kia says this is measuring in at. If you want a reference, that is 1 cubic foot less than the midsize K5. It is going to be a little less than what you get in the Civic. That's the largest option in this segment, but overall, I mean, this really is a very substantial looking trunk area. Now, Car Confections, one of our signature things we like to do is just get you some additional measures. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of take it from the back seats to the end here. You're going to have 44 inches to mess with there. And then as far as your opening, we're going to be looking at a 40-inch opening. It actually goes almost from side to side there. And then the height of this is, looks like 22 inches. So that is definitely pretty good for a compact sedan. I also want to note you still have a spare tire. It's just going to be right underneath the floor. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what you're going to find under the hood. Now, one of the only things that's a little bit similar to the outgoing Forte model is actually your powertrain selection. So most trim levels are going to come with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It makes 147 horsepower. This motor is going to be paired with a CVT, and then you also still have one additional powertrain choice. That's going to be on the GT Line Turbo, what we're showing you today. It's a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and it's going to be making 190 horsepower. Now, just be aware, compared to the previous Forte, we're not going to have a full GT model at this time, and this is going to be down about 11 horsepower from that model. It's also not going to offer a manual transmission option anymore, but you do have an 8-speed automatic when you choose this turbocharged engine instead of the previous 7-speed dual-clutch automatic for smoother everyday operation. Now, front-wheel drive is going to be included on all models. They're not going to be offering an all-wheel drive system, which some of the competition does have at this time. Now, as far as fuel economy, we don't have any official numbers at this time, but we're expecting that it'll be very similar to the previous Forte. Now, of course, we look forward to taking this out on the road in the future so we can get you guys in-depth driving impressions. So make sure you subscribe for that because we will be taking this out on the road as soon as possible. Let's talk a little bit about pricing and availability. First of all, with availability, Kia is saying this will be available in Q3 of 2024, so that actually could be very soon. We'll see when it actually comes out, but again, they're saying that it will be on sale very soon. Pricing has not been officially released yet. Car Confections, we're going to make our own estimate. We're saying it's going to be between $22,000 and $30,000. That would be a little bit of a price increase from the Forte it is replacing, but as you can see, it is a more substantial sedan, and you're getting a lot more equipment on board. That would still also make it one of the more affordable options in the segment. Now, if you're looking to buy any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. On there, you will find a tool which will match you to local dealerships and get you the best price in your local area. It'll also give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation. If you're interested in that, make sure to click the link below in the description or also the pinned comment at the top. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this detailed first look at the 2025 Kia K4. If you enjoyed, make sure to go down below and click subscribe. When you subscribe, it tells automakers such as Kia that you value our content and you want to have us go and cover all the latest vehicles on the market. If you're already a subscriber, we thank you so much for your continued support because you make this all possible. And we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.